A native of Morganton, Keith Dockery and his family moved to the Tampa, Florida area after he finished the 4th grade. They moved back to the Fannin County area just in time for Keith to graduate from Morganton Elementary School. He had not participated in any type of competitive athletics until he entered East Fannin High School in the fall of 1968. Keith had developed into a strong, fast, and generally athletic young man who decided to add football and basketball to his resume of activities. He made the football team as a starter as a sophomore and was also a member of the JV basketball team that year. With a wink and a grin, Keith remembers that, following his sophomore season, his coaches decided that it would be better if I concentrated my efforts on football. When Keith Dockery took the field to begin football contests during the 1969, 1970, and 71 seasons, he knew that it was highly unlikely that he would leave the field of battle before the final whistle. The East Fannin teams of those days generally had somewhere between 13 and 19 players at any one time. Despite the numbers, however, Keith and a few teammates, including Randall and Ronnie Beavers, soon established a reputation for their gridiron skills. Keith generally played in the offensive line when the Wildcats were in possession of the ball and linebacker on defense. During his senior season, he had grown into an athletic body at 6'1", 210 pounds. He excelled as both a blocker and as a defender. For his performance during his junior season of 1970, Keith was recognized by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, who named him to the Class C All-State Honorable Mention team. The next year, 1971, he was named as a first-team selection on the All-State team. This accomplishment placed Keith in some rarefied company, since only 4 football players during the entire existence of East and West Fannin High Schools from 1955 to 1976 were so honored. Keith joined Alden Farmer and David Turner of East Fannin and Carlton Guthrie of West Fannin as the first-team selections during that period. Keith also earned several team honors during his football career at East Fannin. He was a team co-captain as a junior in 1970, and he was named as the team most valuable lineman. As a senior in 1971, he was elected as team captain and best defensive player. His classmates recognized his ability by naming him as the most athletic senior boy in the 1971-72 class. He was also a student leader and was a member of the Key Club and Big E Club at East Fannin. In June 1972, shortly after he graduated from East Fannin, Keith Dockery signed on with the United States Army. He was as proficient at soldiering as he had been at pancaking a defensive end and remained in the Army for 16 years. He was an honor graduate from his advanced individual training at Fort Knox in November 1972 and received a promotion in recognition of that achievement. In 1978, he was named as the Soldier of the Year at Fort Polk, Louisiana. In June 1979, Keith applied to and was accepted to Rotary Wing Flight School at Fort Rucker, Alabama. It was a decision that would shape his career for the remainder of his working life. He achieved his aviator wings in May of 1980. He devoted the remainder of his time in the military to flying helicopters and teaching others as an instructor pilot. After leaving the military in 1988, Keith spent some time traveling and reconnected with his high school sweetheart, Louise Gibbs. Louise, homecoming queen at East Fannin in 1971, and Keith were married in March 1989. The love of flying proved to be a strong lure for Keith, and he accepted a position with Air Logistics in January of 1989. He remained with them as a helicopter pilot, lead pilot, and finally as a base manager before retiring in 2013. He was named as the firm's overall employee of the year in 1999. Keith and Louise currently make their home in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Keith Dockery has led a life filled with accomplishments in athletics and service to his country. The Fannin County Sports Hall of Fame is proud to welcome him as a member.